Hi Cycle Fam, Joe here with Aspen Pedal, named after a bike pedal and Aspen in the mountains. All right, that city. Say hi, Aspen. Say hi. Okay, she doesn't want to say hi. I'm gonna set her down. Hey, I want to do a quick video on how to determine your FTP, your functional threshold power, so that you know exactly where your watts should be when you're taking a class like mine on my channel, a Power Zone class, specifically the Ignite series that we're doing right now. You're gonna love this. So if you have a bike that measures watts, this is for you. If you don't, during every Power Zone class on my channel, I tell you how you should feel. So it doesn't mean you don't take the class. I just tell you how you should feel, right? So it's gonna make a lot of sense. This is gonna be guaranteed. You're gonna love this right here. So first of all, let me show you a Stages SC3 bike console, right? This is the updated one. So yours may look a little bit different. Don't even worry about it. But if you see right there, see where that little yellow circle is? That is your watts. Now, watts are determined by force and velocity. There's a little power meter on the left crankshaft of most bikes that measure watts, right? And when you go in circles, your revolutions per minute, and you add resistance, that cranks out watts. And that is where it shows it on a Stages console. Now, again, yours might be different. Doesn't even matter as long as you're able to see what your watts are. Now, on a Stages bike, if you look just over to the left of that yellow circle, it's gonna say average. So what you're gonna wanna do on a Stages bike is press the Stages button, and for 3 minutes, and by the way, this is a 3-minute explanation. There's a 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, 20 minute most commonly, and the real functional threshold power is 1 hour. Okay, so I'm going to teach you the math on a 3-minute version. So what you're going to want to do is determine what is my average after 3 minutes of work, and then we're going to do the math. So how do I take that test? Let me show you a little bit more here. Here is your Power Zone chart. Again, once you take the test, you're going to be able to see your zones, your output in these different color zones right here. So easy all the way up to everything I have. Now you're going to see a percentage. See the percentage there, 55%, 55 to 75%, 76 to 90%, and so on, right? Now your functional threshold power is zone 4. That is 100% of what you can do in 1 hour. Whoever created this, and I don't remember the person's name offhand, maybe somebody could comment below, determined that you're going to be in that functional threshold power place or power zone when your output is 91 to 105% of the test that you took. Okay. So somebody had commented, I'm not a fan of things above 100%. Typically, things are measured at 100%. You can't go over 100%. I understand that. But when it comes to power zones, this is your threshold, right? 100% of your threshold. Now, it's important to understand that when you're at 100%, it's 100% of what you can do in 1 hour. Okay, so you can certainly go over that, but you can't last an hour, right? So very hard would be 6 to 20% over that, 21 to 50% over that would be zone 6, and 151% to over 200% would be zone 7. Obviously, if you're in zone 7, you can't last that long, maybe 30 seconds, right? So that's what we mean when we say we're over 100% for the person who asked. Now, when you take this test, if you're taking the 3-minute test, listen, you're gonna wanna be somewhere in these filling places. It's gonna be very hard to going breathless. You're gonna wanna really push that button, measure for 3 minutes, and work as hard as you possibly can without gassing out. That's all I can tell you. You gotta give it all, you gotta give it all, you gotta give it all. Okay, are you hearing me? You gotta give it all. Comment below, I'm gonna give it all if I take this test, all right? So 5 or 6, very hard to going breathless for 3 minutes. It's not fun. I just gotta tell you, it's not fun. But what you're essentially doing is I'm going to calculate what I can realistically do in 1 hour, but I'm gonna cram that into 3 minutes, okay? So now, check this out. What we're doing here is now that I have, let's just say, and I have these numbers in red, let's just say I averaged 200 watts in 3 minutes. That was my average output, okay, was 200 watts. Now, what you're gonna do to calculate what you would realistically be able to do in 1 hour is you're gonna go times 0.80. In other words, you're gonna take 20% off, kind of like a sale, right? 20% off, I'm gonna buy it, right? 20% off. and your actual functional threshold power is going to be 160. Okay, so you'll know that your threshold, see the orange there, that's zone 4, right? That when you're in zone 4, and you're riding your Stages bike, your whatever bike you're riding, once your watts hit 145 to 168, you're actually right at your threshold. Okay, so you're seeing that in real time. Now, what you're basically doing is once I have 160, once I realize that my watts or my functional threshold power is 160, I'm taking a percentage of that to find out what each zone is. So 55% of 160 watts is 88. That would be my active recovery. 88 watts and below is active recovery. You go into your endurance. If I call out zone 2, we're going to be in zone 2, then you're going to want to find 89 to 120 watts. If I say, all right, we're going into that tempo place, right? 120 watts to 140 watts is where you're going to want to maintain to be in tempo. And again, threshold to be at 100% of your threshold, of your functional threshold power. Again, that normally 1 hour test, that what you could realistically sustain for an hour, you're going to be right around 145 to 168 watts. So after that test, what you established is that if I had to, I can hold 145 watts to 168 watts, assuming you average 200 and you did the math, right? So you may average 150, you may average 250, you may average 300. Everybody's going to be different, and that's what's beautiful about working in power zones, okay? So again, if I call out zone 5, which many of you said, zone 5 was killing me. Well, it was killing you because you had to maintain over threshold. That's 169 to 192 watts. Again, this is assuming that you are 200 average watts. Again, everybody's going to be different. That's why you have to take the test. Okay. So your anaerobic capacity, 193 to 240, and 240 watts and above, you should only be able to hold for up to 30 seconds. After that, you're gassed. Okay. Now, again, this is an explanation of how to take a 3-minute version of your functional threshold power. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I hope this is helpful. I'm also going to include a download to this sheet that I had on slide 3 there so that you can download it, print it out. It has the instructions on how to take a 3-minute PDF, a 3-minute functional threshold power. It's a PDF file. And you'll be able to fill it out. And then it's kind of like a cheat sheet. So you can have it right next to you when you take a power class. My name is Joe. I'll see you on the next one.